Hey, what's up everyone? This update rolls out a mix of gameplay changes, quality of life improvements, and some platform-specific upgrades. And once you put it all together, it honestly feels like the developers wanted to give longtime fans a solid reason to jump back in and replay stages they already know by heart. The biggest thing you'll notice almost immediately is the addition of Dixie Kong as a playable partner. This isn't just a cosmetic swap or a reskin either. Dixie's movement completely shifts how certain sections play out, especially when it comes to vertical control. Her jump behaves differently, giving you more air control and a bit more forgiveness in tricky platforming sections. That alone changes the rhythm of levels you might already have muscle memory for. In single player, you now have the option to choose whether Diddy or Dixie shows up when you grab a barrel, which is huge because it lets you tailor the experience based on how you like to approach a stage. If you're playing with two people, the second player can swap between Diddy and Dixie right from the world map, so you're not locked into one style for an entire session. It's a small menu change, but it makes co-op feel way more flexible and player-friendly. Another major addition is Turbo Attack, and this is where the update really leans into replay value. If you're the type who already enjoys speedrunning or shaving seconds off your clears, this mode is basically built for you. After you clear a stage once, Turbo Attack becomes available alongside Time Attack, but it pushes things even further. Everything is faster, the pressure is higher, and you're racing against a strict time limit that demands clean execution. Clearing a stage within that limit earns you a turbo medal, which adds a whole new layer of challenge and bragging rights. What's cool is that this mode doesn't replace anything. It stacks on top of what's already there, so casual players can ignore it, while more competitive players get something extra to master. The update also quietly adds Brazilian Portuguese language support, which might not sound exciting if it doesn't affect you personally, but it's a big accessibility win. Expanding language options means more players can enjoy the game comfortably, and it's always nice to see that kind of support continue even after launch. On top of that, there are general fixes and image quality improvements across the board. These aren't flashy changes you'll see called out during gameplay, but they smooth out rough edges, clean up visuals, and make everything feel a bit more polished overall. If you're playing on the newer hardware, there are a few extra perks baked into this update as well. Game share support is now available for local users, which makes it easier to play together without extra copies floating around. That's especially nice for couch co-op sessions where you just want to jump in without friction. Visual optimization has also been tuned specifically for the newer display and high-resolution televisions, so the game looks sharper and cleaner, especially on larger screens. Load times have been reduced too, which might sound minor, but when you're retrying a tough stage over and over, those seconds add up, and the faster turnaround really helps keep frustration in check. What makes this update stand out is how balanced it feels. It's not just aimed at one type of player. If you're here for nostalgia and casual runs, Dixie alone gives you a fresh way to experience familiar levels. If you're more competitive, Turbo Attack offers a legitimate challenge that tests skill and consistency. If you're playing with friends or family, the co-op flexibility and game share support make sessions smoother. And if you just care about performance and visuals, the optimizations quietly do their job without getting in the way. The update number 1.1.0 doesn't try to reinvent the game, and that's probably the smartest part. Instead, it builds on what already works and adds options rather than restrictions. It respects returning players while still welcoming new ones, and that's not always easy to pull off. When an update makes you want to revisit old stages just to see how they feel with a different character or under new pressure, that's a sign it's doing something right. In the end, this update feels less like maintenance and more like a thoughtful expansion of the core experience. And that's exactly what keeps a platformer like this feeling alive long after its initial release.